And welcome. We have Goffstown versus Manchester Central tonight. Goffstown will be, I think, receiving the ball, going towards the south this evening. It's a beautiful night. The wind has died down, so it shouldn't be a factor. Sun will be a bit of a problem as the game goes on for those on the attacking to the north, but so here we go. Manchester Central to kick off. Goffstown immediately applying a lot of pressure here. But we're leaving a lot of gaps. So Central with a lot of space here to move in. So it goes down through. Down the line, shielded well by Central. Austin breaks up the play. That was a rough hit. Players seem to be okay now. It goes down through. Liam with the ball. Centers it. A little bit slow on the shot there by Cole. Cole again with a flick on, hoping to hit Davin. Luca is shielded off the ball well. Brody brings it down. Out to Liam on the wing. Liam back to Brody again. Cole in the middle. Back to Dylan. Cole still manages to maintain possession there for Goffstown. Luca has a turn. Brody sees Liam on the far wing. But so does the Manchester defender. Central put in a good ball. That was very, very poor defending. We just let the man run right onto that. So Goffstown starting off a little slowly here. Sure they'll bounce back. He runs into that nicely. Cole picks it up. Sees Davin on the run. A little bit far for Davin though. Central tries a turn, but we stand them up nicely. Cole's applying a good bit of pressure there. Break up those plays. Quinn's got a lot of time. Tries to hit Davin on the wing. And it'll be a Goffstown throw. Ball into Luca. To Cole. Out to Austin. He should have time to get a good cross in. Tries to just hit Harry there in the middle. And it'll be Goffstown's first corner kick. Liam will take this. It's a good ball right into the middle. Bouncing still. Cole's trying to get a shot off. He'll go out for another corner. Low skidding ball. Can't get past the first defender. Cole back out to Liam. To Brody. Here goes Austin on the run. Broken up by Central. Quinn ends that rush. Brody back to Dylan. Dylan sees Austin, but Austin's offsides there. Davin wins a free kick. A little bit soft, I think. Other player, though, put two hands on his back, so kind of asked for that. Coming out to Liam on the wing. And back to Jake. To Quinn. Back up to Liam. Little give and go to Luca. Jake breaks up that play. Here goes Austin. Central way too much space here and time. We're applying a little pressure and then letting off and letting them run through us. Goffstown need to just settle down, play the way they've been playing the previous games. And here's Harry on the run. 1-on-1. And he equalizes. It's a great run through by Harry Vaughan. Score is now 1-1. Central will have a single substitute here. One of their strikers. Lane puts good pressure on and wins a Goffstown throw. Goffstown with another throw. Central come up with the ball. Good step by Cole. Looking to spread the field here. Quinn can't quite get it past their defenders. Harry wins that nicely. Austin Cole sees Harry up, sees Luca on the break. Luca back to Liam. Liam gets the ball across. And Goffstown's offsides. Liam breaks that up. He puts great pressure on to win a Goffstown throw. Cole flicks on to Austin. Gets the cross. Over to Brody. Brody flicks on, trying to hit Davin. And we'll have another Goffstown corner kick. Cole will take this one. Goffstown fake the short kick to open up a little space there. And it's in. And it is in. Keeper could not tip that over. And Cole scores from the corner kick. Oh, no, take that back. I'm terribly sorry. I guess he did manage to tip that over. From here, it looked like it was in, and I was seeing some shock on people's faces. Mine as well. Score remains 1-1. Into Cole. To Dylan. Here's Davin. Looking for the overlap. We're going to switch the field now. Check out to Quinn. It'll be a Goffstown throw. Quinn to take this. Deep throw by Luca. Quickly picked up by Central. Quinn breaks that up. Out to Davin. It's Brody now. Davin again. Brody. Brody runs through it again. It just slips out for us, so Central is going to send in a couple of substitutes. Looks like in their midfield. Call to Austin. Austin sees Harry. Just slipped out. Good bit of scrappiness here in the midfield. Jake breaks that up to Liam. This will be a Goffstown throw. He breaks that up. Again, a Goffstown throw. Goffstown warming up our first substitutes. Looks like we'll have Willem coming in for Luca, probably. Harry with a good give and go with Austin. Coming down the left wing. Bundled off the ball by Central. Now it's Luca's turn to step in. Jake up to Luca. Dylan sends that out for a throw in. Austin with a good burst of speed down the right wing. But a poor pass by Goffstown and gifting the ball. The linesman doesn't seem to see our substitutes waiting here. Nice flick on by Austin. But, Central will be there before Harry will. Hope we got a good scrap. Central throw. Brody runs right through. Good called for a foul. So it'll be a Central kick. He steps. Austin back to Liam. Central throw. Get the cross, but we didn't clear the line. Central corner kick. None of the officials are seeing our substitutes sitting here. Have been for the past 4 or 5 outages. It's a good ball by Central. Right out of the 18. Goes down stepping. Now we get it out. Davin to Harry. Austin running. There goes Davin. And now Austin's breaking through. Liam brings it down. Across to Brody. Brody Cole. To Dylan. We'll cross it over to Quinn. A little soft back to Jake. Out to Quinn again. Quinn's good ball through to Harry. A little bit deep. A little more than he can do. Brady breaks that up. Harry to Luca. Back to Quinn. To Liam. Sees Harry on the line. Back into Liam. Little give and go to Harry. Harry's going to get a cross off here. Shut down by Central. So Hunter's going in for Austin, and Willem is placing Luca in center mid. Jake has a nice head to Cole. Flicks on for Hunter. Now we have Trevor ready to come in. Minutes remaining in the first half. Good step by Jake. This will be a Central throw. Long ball David will easily collect. Just over Harry. Sorry, Hunter. Cole has a good tackle there. Central comes right back. Birdie bundles Central off the ball. It's a physical game here. It's like Central took a hard knock from Brody there. Willem to Cole. Can't quite maintain. And now the whistle blows to tend to the Central player on the ground. Looks like he might need a substitute here. Yeah, his teammates are calling for one. Austin's coming in for Harry, and Trevor will place Davin over on the right half. Drop ball to Manchester, since they had possession when the ref blew the whistle to address that injury. Jake steps, but Central comes up swifter. We double team him to break up the play. Willem comes up with that. Jake out to Austin. To Liam. Liam turns to Willem. Willem hits Hunter. Across to Cole. Cole sees the break down the wing by Trevor. Trevor's got space here. He gets across. Austin's still in there. Willem slows it down. Good pressure by Trevor there. Took on two men. And now he's working his way through the rebound. Hunter's got the ball. Clears to Austin. Oh, and Austin can't get a good hit on that. It's a good attack. It's a good attack. Got a goal kick here. They try to go short. Oh, and that's a foul from Central, who double kicks the ball. They tried a short, and their own defender was not aware, so the goalkeeper kicked it twice, which means it's now going to be, I believe, an indirect kick. Inside the box. Referee is not addressing them, asking for 10 yards here. I'm not sure what's happening here. The ref seems to be confused at how far. Yeah, they're way inside the 10 yards here. I'm baffled. I'm baffled by what this referee is doing. The other linesman is coming over for a to confer. Scrappy. And lifted over the crossbar. Scrappy ball moving around there. It'll be another central goal kick. Going to do that over. They were in the middle of a substitution. Central sending in another, swapping out one of their fullbacks. He brings it down to Austin. Central flicks, but it'll be out for a Goffstown throw. Well, then brings it down to Brody. Flicks it out to Trevor. Trevor will come back to Brody again. Central throw. Broken up by Goffstown. Central come up with the ball. We've got some space here down the right-hand side. They are going to try to get it across. Brody breaks it up. Goffstown throw. No, central throw. This will be another central throw. Goffstown doing a good job of matching Central's physicality, which they haven't always done. And now we've got Austin making a break. Miss hit by the keeper. Comes up for Liam. Brings it down to the middle. They're trying to hit their runner. And that was rough. Tried to shield, but the Central player ran right through that. So we have a Central throw in. Broken up by Goffstown. Deep ball that'll go back to the Central keeper. Their miscue there from their keeper. It's a good opportunity. Jake's on with the turn. Back to David. Gets boot on it. To Liam, who's boxing in their attackers. That was a good ball from Central. Opened up. They get a shot off, but not able to connect on it too well. Austin flicks on. They're going to run back to their keeper. Oh, and Austin runs through that. There's good pressure there. Dylan tries to contain, but Central have a burst of speed. They're going to get another shot off, but goes very wide. Got Davin coming in for Liam on the left side. And Central are also swapping out one of their attackers. To Willem. Brody back to Quinn. Goes deep. Can't quite get it up to Austin. Davin breaks in up that, as does Brody. Will come out though for a Central throw. And goes out for another Central throw. Out for a goal kick. And Harry is coming in for Hunter, and Luca is replacing Willem. Crosstown have a short kick. Jake lost it forward. Good strength by Austin to hold off his man. Harry sees the runs. Can't quite get rid of it in time, but Davin comes in. Holds off a strong challenge. Our pressure forces a little bit of error from the keeper. But now Central have some space. Have a lot of space. It's a good step by Jake to break that up. Austin flicks it over to Harry. Back to Brody. Brody manages to hit Austin again. Now it's our turn to have some space. And no foul called. Illegal throw. They lifted a foot, trying to throw it too hard, too fast. Central come up with the ball, and that'll be out for a goal kick. 5.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Score remains 1-1. Call to Harry. Flicked on. Harry will get to that, I think. Shielded heavily. Nope. Very well shielded by Central. Austin gets it to Cole. A little bit of a bobble, and now Central on the counter. Broken up by Cole again. Foul called against Central. Jake will take this free kick. It's a good ball. He sends a looping ball in. Trevor can't quite get there. That's Goffstown called for a foul. Central's free kick. Austin comes across, tries to get it up to Harry. Brody with a nice flick on to Harry. Oh, and a crunching tackle, double tackle against Brody. Tries to shake that off. Davin wins that scrap and Goffstown throw. Cole can't keep it in. So it's Central now with a swift throw. Central with some space. Central kick it out for a goal kick. Less than 2 minutes remaining in the half. Central have another injured player that's being substituted. Goffstown with a short kick. Jake will bring it up. Try to hit Davin, but it's over his head. He breaks it up for a Central throw-in. Cole gets the switch. Davies scoops this up. Evans calling for it. We needed a swift kick there. Not much time remaining. Comes up to Harry. He flicks it on, but keeper will be all over that. Purdy brings it down with a header to Davin. Takes a strong after the ball challenge there. And that ends the first half with the score 1-1.
I'm Drew. Luca. I'm Nate.
Hi, I'm Boris Romanovich. I play midfield, and you're watching Grizzly Soccer.
Did you know North Korea and Cuba are the only places in the world where you can't buy Coca-Cola?
The Goffstown Shuttle is a comfortable and easy way for Goffstown residents to secure transportation for a variety of needs, and it's completely free. The Manchester Transit Authority is pleased to partner with the town of Goffstown to provide curb-to-curb transportation to the residents of Goffstown. We strive to bring an enjoyable riding experience that helps those in need of transportation. All Goffstown residents are welcome to utilize the Goffstown Shuttle, completely free of charge. Everything from getting groceries to needing a ride to medical appointments, Goffstown Shuttle has you covered. All buses are ADA accessible and people of all ages are welcome. Priority will be given to those over the age of 62 as well as those going to medical appointments. You are welcome to bring someone along for the ride if you would like to have a family member or friend with you. Passenger destinations are permitted within Goffstown and for medical appointments in Goffstown, Manchester, and Bedford. You can also gain access to any destination on the MTA system by connecting to Route 6 at the Shaw's Plaza. The MTA and Goffstown are looking forward to meeting your transportation needs. Give us a call now to schedule your first ride.
Grizzly Stock Club.
We're back for the second half of Goffstown Grizzlies versus Manchester Central. Goffstown will kick off. Score remains 1-1 in a hard-fought match. Both teams are pretty evenly matched at this moment. Both had opportunities. I think Goffstown may have had one or two more, but as yet, Quinn's up to Liam. Big pressure from Central immediately. Austin reads that. He's going to try to close down the keeper quickly. These kind of runs require everyone to go at the same time to cover off the remaining defenders. Brody got good possession here. Keeper came out and picked up the ball, crossed his line, which is why Goffstown will get a free kick, and then Central players kicked the ball away, which could be a card here. Could just be a warning. Depends on the official. Oh, good shot on goal there. Brody Reeves just clipped off the top of the crossbar. Luca wins that. Up to Austin, who's applying a good bit of pressure there. Forces their keeper to kick it out for a Goffstown throw. Quinn takes it quickly down the line to Austin. Flicks it back in, trying to hit Davin. Good cross. Goffstown unable to do anything with the cross there. And now it's a Central throw. Momentum's back and forth in this game. Relieving defenders, attackers. Way too much space there inside the box. When David manages to tip out, but we've got to lock those men down. So it'll be a corner kick for Central. It's a good ball. David tips it up. Devin gets a head on it. Central get off another shot on target, but easily handled by David DeLisle. Lucas steps. I think Austin will win this. Good defense by Central. Goes down throw. Austin comes up with it. Tries to get the cross. Central keep it in. Look with some good pressure here. Brody comes up with the ball. Out to Dylan. Dylan to Brody. Back to Jake. We're going to cross it now. To Quinn. Quinn up to Liam. Central to Cole. Liam again. Central step in and take that one. But they'll win the throw. Try to take the throw a little too far up the field. Comes Davin, powering through. Austin with a little flick. There's a lot of heavy hits after the ball in this game. Not sure the officials are really across that, but they're consistent. Central called for that. Free kick up to Brody. Brody to Luca. The middle. Cole sees Austin. The far side. Austin tries to flick it over. Managed to keep it in. Ball bouncing around, but Central managed to keep that under control. It's a good flick on by Hunter. Managed to keep that in and get it back across the goal, but they had too many defenders. It brings the ball down. Shoots for Brody. Liam now trying to make a run. Quinn puts it up. Hoping to hit a runner. Be a Central throw, and Central are going to substitute another striker. The left. That's a good ball from Central. Devon brings it down. The ball is still bouncing. And they miscue that. Go for a big hit, but mishit it. Hunter's the only one now. He's got Austin. Liam comes through. Austin back. Now Central have a lot of space here. The men are running free. They're broken through. And that's a goal. It was well played by Central. They had men running freely. And Goffstown were not keeping up with them. So 31.5 minutes remaining in the second half, and Central lead 2-1. It's over Quinn's head. Comes back to David. Back out to Quinn, just to shake that Central attacker. Handball called, so it'll be a Goffstown kick. He'll go to Brody in the middle. Hunter Luca. They're switching sides here. Davin back to Dylan. Dylan out to Davin again. To Luca. Central will kick it out for a Goffstown throw.
Just run through the ball. Just play. Get back.
Toss down throw.
Keep going, Mark. Hold on. Keep going.
Central on the run again. Jake breaks that play. Central are moving swiftly and shaking off the Goffstown attackers. I mean the Goffstown defenders. It's Goffstown's opportunity for a counter. Cole is triple teamed. Can't find someone to pass to. Quinn breaks that up. Gets it up to Hunter. Goffstown throw. Lucas Bagatti is coming in for Cole. Long throw. Austin turns. Purdy flicks up and Hunter's on the run. Hunter's in the free. Can't quite control that one. Goes wide for a goal kick. But it gives us time to come down and pinch in the field. They take a swift short kick. Lucas has a good turn. Gets it out to Hunter. Back to Quinn, to Liam. Liam to Brody. Brody's looking. I think he sees Davin. Yep, he's going to hit Davin on the far side. Closed down by Central. Lucas breaks it up. Lucas is pulled over very skillfully by shielding, so the refs could not see that. Central in full flow. They pull it high and wide. Short out to Dylan, to Luca. Willems coming in to replace Luca. For the Goffstown throw. Dangerous time for Goffstown here. Just a little bit scrappy. Need to just settle down. Take the time. Brody gets off a kick. Quinn up to Liam. Back to Quinn. Down the line. Central take the throw quickly. And a foul was called on Goffstown. Central using every opportunity to try to ease the ball forward, both in their throws and their kicks. It's a good deep ball. Looking for a player on the far post. Donnie's coming in to replace Liam. Short kick to Jake. Flicks on Willem. Willem might have Austin on the run. Yep.
There, just keep them wide.
Austin cuts in. Gets the ball to Central to Willem. Willem's out to Austin again. Tries to hit Lucas. Brody brings it down. Hunter. Back to Quinn. Lucas to Willem. Jake with a strong step. David will collect this easily. Brady comes down with the ball. Long, slow ball. David will collect. Bring it back in to pick it up. Hunter maintains possession. Brody's shot is blocked. Hunter comes up with the ball. Brought down by Central. It's a free kick taken by Jake. Cross to Dylan. Gets a good ball in. Central now throwing a lot of speed. A 3-man unmarked coming in. But Willem breaks up the play, slows it down. Goffstown clear their line out for a throw in. Another Central throw. Handball is called, so it'll be Central free kick. It's outside the box. Easily collected by David. Right to him that time. high and long. A lot of hands. Donnie's dragged down. Goffstown throw in. And now a Central throw in. Nope, they were called for a foul. So Central free kick. Liam breaks up. Quinn breaks up that play nicely for a Central throw in. David comes out to collect himself. Central called for the foul. Jake to take it quickly. But Central come down with the ball. Lucas has Donnie down the wing. Miscues. Quinn steps up. Another high ball. Davin gets in there. Now Austin. Back to Brody. Brody sees Davin. Davin's down the wing. He gets a Central. Austin tries to come across for Hunter.
Miguel, stop letting it bounce. Just run through it.
So it'll be a Central free kick. Referee's just having a little word of caution. Steps in there nicely. As does Jake. Quinn breaks it up again. And ball, I think, called on. We're going to take a quick kick. Dylan to Davin. To Willem. To Dylan. Up to Austin. Austin to Davin. Austin brings that down. Central try to clear. They do clear. Here comes Brody. Donnie back to Brody. Flicks it back. There should be a high kick called. So Goffstown free kick. Here's to the back. Here's Dylan on the back post. We'll have another corner. Liam's coming in for Donnie, and Cole is coming in for Willem. So Liam will take this corner kick. It's good. It's a little deep. We get a head on it. I think that was Brody that got a head on it. Liam to Cole. Liam back to Quinn. Flicks it on, trying to hit Lucas. Now it's Hunter trying to flick on for Austin. They're forced to kick back quickly. Nearly didn't get it cleared. To a central ball. Jake breaks it up and it comes down to Central. It's a good ball. Jake runs through nicely, heads it down, clears the ball. Davin's got it. Davin turns. Brody Lucas to Davin back. Central get a ball in. It'll come down for a Central throw in. Attack by Central, but David comes up with the ball. It's a long ball up. Hunter tries to shield. Quinn comes down with it. We'll have a throw. Luca is coming in for Lucas. And Luco will get the throw in here. Flicks it on. David will collect this. Quinn breaks up that shot attempt. That's a good clearance. It's a good ball. David swiftly throws out to Davin. Davin to Cole. To Dylan. To Davin. To Cole. Davin comes up with it again. He sees Austin down the wing, but can't quite get it to him. Hunter comes in. Brody brings it down with a header. Austin applies pressure. Again, Brody brings it down to Hunter. Hunter back to Brody. Brody sees Davin. Davin's crashing in. He's going to get the cross, and it goes out for a corner. Still plenty of time for Goffstown to make something happen here. We've got a little under 9 minutes remaining. Liam will take this corner. Bouncing ball right in the middle. Cole comes out to Austin. Tries to flick it in. Jake brings it down to Davin. Just over Davin's head. Central throw. Davin runs through that. That was a really nasty challenge. Totally off the ball. Davin seems to have shaken it off, but chopped down from behind. Jake comes back to David. Turn high ball up to Austin. He brings it down for Cole.
Easy, Martin, easy.
Austin to Davin. Here goes Luca down the wing. This is really getting ugly. They've called that one. Foul. Goffstown kick. Good ball. A little too deep. Easily collected by the keeper. Goffstown through. Central's cross is broken up by Quinn. Luca up to Hunter. Hunter tries to hit Davin. We need to be applying a lot of pressure here. Central in flow. Jake brings it down. It's a shot, but it's easily collected by David, who comes out to Davin very quickly with the throw. Davin down the wing to Austin. He runs the overlap. Austin tries to hit Hunter. Too many Central players there. They're on sides. Quinn makes a good run to push that out for a Central throw-in. We're down to the last 5 minutes of the game here. Goffstown need a little extra pressure and a little extra luck. Liam's up to Hunter. Hunter's a little too heavy for Austin. Austin's trying to put pressure, but we need more men to cover everyone. We're playing far too defensively at the minute. All of our men are sitting here in defense. Cole maintains possession. Central throw. Leaving far too much space here. We really need to be applying pressure. Davin wins that. Quinn hits Austin. Flicks it up. Quinn brings it down. To Brody. To Austin. David clears. David clears. But a bad collision with Central. I did not think that was 50-50. I thought the Central player was far too dangerous on that, but don't think anything's going to be called. They shake it off. It's a Central throw. Down throw. Hunter runs through that. Cole breaks it up. Central's shot is over the bar. Need to move fast here. Can't be much time remaining. Brody brings it down. Liam, Brody. Jake brings it out, but drop some more time off the clock for Central throw. Closing them down, but I think they're looking to just waste a little time here. Goffstown comes up with the ball. Here's Austin. He's sending Hunter. Hunter's free. Brings it back to Davin. Dylan to Davin. Davin to Luca. Out for a Goffstown throw. Deep throw. Out for a corner kick. Everyone's coming up for this. Aim will take it. Quinn brings it down to Brody. It'll go out for a goal kick. And Luca's injured here. He's down. I think in all that scuffle, I think some shins collided. So Luca DeMarco is down. Need a substitute. So Lucas Spaghetti is coming in. No one is playing short here, so if I were Central, I'd play a short kick and just faff around a little bit. Quinn brought it down nicely. Austin powers through there nicely. He's come up with the ball. Back to Liam. Gets a cross in. Cleared by Central. Quinn will bring it back in to Brody in the middle. Dylan puts it up. Brody will bring it down. Brody will have one. Cole out to Liam. Central only have one man forward. Quinn shakes him off. Blatant handball just played on. And that's the game. Central win 2-1.